And we're like, what do we got to, like, I'm not ready to quit because, like, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
But legitimately, I'm working 13 hours through the night, sleeping for an hour, and going to deliver Saturday mornings. I did that for a long time because that's the only choice I had. So
While still bodybuilding.
Yeah, still competing. So my wife's, at this point, 7 or 8 months pregnant. She's about to be on maternity leave. And once you're on maternity leave, you can't change benefits either.
Yeah.
So I don't go to work one Friday, and I don't necessarily like this part of the story because this isn't I'm not the type of person to not go to work, to not do what, like, the plan was, you know? But we're so busy that, like, I literally can't do it anymore. So part of the job was I'd have to send the sales tables to my boss. And this kid, he was a kid. Which always irked me. He was like a 22-year-old kid that just was on a power struggle.
Yeah. Give me your numbers.
Yeah.
Give me your Excel sheet.
So I didn't send it Friday. He calls me on Monday, and this was not planned. He calls me on Monday. He's like, hey, you didn't send me the sales tables. Like, oh, yeah, I must have forgot. He's like, oh, your pro team said you weren't there. He's like, I got caught. And I'm just like, you know what, man? I quit.
Yeah.
That was it.
Dude, we all have the best time ever to start a small business.
If I'm not going to be 100% in, I'm not going to do it.
Come on, man, just be yourself.
Yeah, and
just show up as yourself.
if you don't realize what I'm really about, I'm about freedom, family, and my country.
Christian, welcome.
Thank you.
I got to pop my Schweppes here, the raspberry lime,
And my,
your liquid death.
yeah.
They need to sponsor you, dude.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. They just came out with some, like, teas.
Oh, yeah?
Like tall boys, they're big. And it's like, a couple different teas, which are pretty good.
That's cool. I haven't tried those yet.
Yeah.
I got to get
Good
on
stuff.
those.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of times I talk about what the podcast means, why Evan and I thought of this idea, and really what it's about is turning around and helping the next guy who's a business owner up the ladder. As you know, and we'll get into it, business ownership is not easy. It's mentally draining.
Yeah.
It becomes overwhelming. It's tough on relationships. Every aspect of it is very hard to navigate.
Yep.
And as I was coming up, not a lot of people was willing to help me. Some of that was my own fault.
Sure.
I was chippy. I wanted to succeed in the worst way. Didn't come from wealth, so I didn't understand how it moved or how it looked or how it tasted.
Yep.
And once I was able to make a couple bucks, I said, I'm going to turn around and help people. I don't need to be worth 10 million to do it.
Sure.
Right? If I'm able to make 500 grand, why can't I turn around and help the young guy that's making 50 make 100?
That's right.
And you're somebody who embodies that.
Yeah.
You grind. You and your wife work extremely hard on this brand. Like I said in the intro, I've known you now for, from a distance for a long time. I remember you back at Powerhouse just training like a machine with all your animal gear on.
Yeah.
So that is why you're here. We've been trying to link on this for a while.
I looked, July, we talked about it last year.
Yeah,
It's been a road.
Yeah, you're running, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me, though.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I love everything that you're about.
Thank
your
you.
discipline, your work ethic. I feel like I run pretty hard. There's not many people around here that keep up.
Yeah.
And then I see you at the gym at like midnight doing squats, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I could do more.
Yeah. It's, man, it's I'm getting an ember.
Yeah,
I'm
you gotta
good,
watch
I'm
out.
good.
You get burned sometimes.
I'm all right. That's nothing new. You know what, man? I don't know, man. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Right? If I want to do something, if I want to train, if I want to compete still in bodybuilding, I don't know.
You got to make it happen.
It's hard to explain, and I know you probably get it. It's like there's no decision, should I go to the gym or should I not go to the gym, or if it's something in business for you, like that, it's just yes. It's always yes. It's never, not going to the gym today.
Well, talking about this event coming up, I have this podcast.
Yep.
I'm doing this group called The Pit. I have a full financial planning shop.
Yep.
I have 2 young kids. I care and love and enjoy hanging out with my wife. Like, I'm extremely busy, and then woof, this event kind of gets thrown on my plate.
Yeah.
And it could be overwhelming, but there's no choice of backing out now. Like,
you sleep less.
yes.
That's it. That's
a lot less.
Dude, man, and that's kind of you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Until you get to a point where it's like, all right, sleep a little more. That's it, man.
So I want to chronologically walk through your life.
Yep.
This all started with really wanting to give a platform for local business owners, and it's always going to remain that. You know, we've been able to go national now, and that's
cool.
going to continue to happen. But we want to keep putting an emphasis on local business owners. You grew up in Toms River, born and raised, TR guy.
Yeah.
You go to East or North?
North.
North?
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
04.
04.
Yeah.
1 year before me.
Yeah, you would have been.
Did you play any sports?
So, I football my whole life, ran track. As soon as I was able to work, I quit everything and went to work.
You wanted to make money.
That's it.
What drove you so much to want to get out there and make that money?
I don't know. My parents, you know, my dad's always worked real hard. And even from a young age, you know, if we wanted, at some point, if we wanted a new bike, my brother and I had to work for it, you know. And I was telling you earlier, my first job was at Powerhouse, stocking the shelves and like cleaning up weights. That's where I started making money. I was young, 13, 14 years old. And, you know, I guess at that age, getting a taste of money, of your own money, where no one else really has it, it's kind of,
I get that.
you know?
Yeah, it's something that my parents were on the borderline of poverty. Both worked extremely hard.
Yeah.
They showed me a ton of work ethic and a ton of love.
Yep.
I cast no negative things on my parents, but I saw what everybody else had, and I saw what I didn't, and I remember that feeling.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing that drives me to make sure that my family never feels that.
Yeah, I agree. You know, my dad wasn't really home ever.
It's grinding.
Yeah. Oh, and growing up, I never really, you know, had any resentment towards that because I knew he was working. You know, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. Then life, you know, hit us kind of hard. My mom got into a real bad car accident, and she's good now, but changed the whole dynamic of my childhood.
Yeah.
And you know, kind of had to.
You had to go to work.
Yeah. So me and my brother, my sister, just, you know,
figured it out.
Yeah. So.
Listen, I think a lot of times we go through those types of traumas and pain, and that's what allows us to have that extra gear that other people don't have when it comes to, you know, disciplines of work or working out or business and relationships, right? It's hard to stay in all this stuff and keep your head on all of it.
And everything my mom, you know, I think about, you know, things that happen, hard things, you know. I think about my mom and what she went through, and she actually broke her spine.
Oh, shit.
And you would never know.
That's wild.
Doesn't complain. She has rods fused to her spine now.
Damn.
So she can't bend her back. But you'd never know. She doesn't complain. She smiles. She's happy, you know, and there's nothing harder than that.
Yeah, it's being grateful, and that's something.
It. Yeah, man.
I try to do, you know, the gratitude journal. I'd be lying if I said I did it every day. I need to do it more.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. You know, because there's a lot that, you know, we can appreciate. You know,
100%. Both of us.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
your beautiful daughter, a beautiful family.
Thank you.
I see your great trips to Disney and the memories that you guys are making.
Man. Yeah,
myself included. Just got back from Hunter Mountain. Like,
beautiful. Yeah, dude.
That's special. Sometimes I need to slow that throttle down and, you know, live in the moment and be present.
I go through that too, man. You know, it's like very hard to live in the now.
Gas pedal down.
Yeah, dude.
It's extremely hard.
Yeah.
So, TR guy, Thomas River North, you and Dave West were boys, right?
Dave's a year younger than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Dave grew up skating together. I've known Dave was a Silverton kid.
Yep.
So, you know, a lot of us Silverton guys, we were all real close. So we grew up going to the skate park. So I've known Dave since we were probably 8 or 9 years old. Dave was wild.
He's still wild, dude.
You know, his brother Aaron is even crazier.
I've never met him,
Aaron
but
is a madman.
Yeah, I hear stories.
Great people.
They
Phenomenal
are.
family.
His heart is huge, dude.
Yeah, Dave's a good dude.
We actually were just together in Hunter,
cool.
and we were hanging out.
Did he still have a Hunter house?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. We used to go up there. It was a brothel.
Yeah.
And it was the scariest house we ever been in. It was huge.
It's huge. There's like 14, 15 bedrooms.
Dude, we used to all sleep in one room because it was so scary.
Yeah. You're in the middle of the woods.
Yo, yeah. So that's crazy. I forgot, actually, we used to go snowboarding up there.
Speaking about Dave being a wild man, so his son Jax shreds on Instagram.
Crazy.
The dude shreds.
Crazy,
Like
I see.
I think he's excuse me, Christine, if I think he's 7 or 8.
Yeah.
But he's like competing in all these big events, winning a ton of stuff. They
Yeah.
have a big time coach up there that has taken a lot of guys pro.
That's
and
awesome.
Dave, just for shits and giggles, starts competing in these things because
Again.
they have different regions, right? So they have the Catskills Games.
Yeah.
And then if you win there, that's kind of compete like with Vermont,
Yeah.
Maine,
Okay.
Massachusetts, and then you go nationals. So he's racing on a snowboard for his class and
surprised.
age, and he's winning,
Of course.
dude.
Dude, him and his brother Aaron were phenomenal athletes.
He's still a freak show.
Yeah. I mean, Dave played for University of Albany.
Yeah.
Just crazy football player. So I'm not surprised.
Dude, it was. We can get off Dave West. He's gonna be so excited that we were talking about him this long.
Good dude.
His son did a backflip off the couch. This is like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And Dave tried to reenact it, and it's like, the couch is only maybe 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And he like busted his
Can't do
ankle
it.
open. Dude, almost went through the floor. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
but even the way that he got around.
Because he used to do that shit,
Yeah,
man.
that
It was
quick. I was like,
crazy.
holy shit.
That was Dave, man. Dave was,
He's a machine.
Yeah,
Especially up there on a snowboard.
yeah.
So you're a TR guy. You
Yeah.
have all those TR stories, very similar to Bricktown
Sure.
people.
Yeah.
Both towns kind of end up, cross pollinating.
Yeah.
And
Well, my wife's from Brick.
Yep.
Yep.
So you understand the way that everybody
Yeah.
lives. It's all the same
Which
lifestyle.
is cool.
Yeah.
We're the same, from the same breed,
I say it all the time, like, Bricktown made me who I was. There was things about it I hated,
Sure.
especially as I get
Sure.
older and I was trying to do better for myself. But it literally made me who I was. The school district literally made me who I was.
Yep.
My friends in the neighborhood, every single one of them had an impact on how I learned. I hang out in this yard right now with these people, and I'm learning from you and what you say. I'm learning from Evan, Mike, Matt. That's just the way my brain operates.
I think once you stop learning or you won't accept learning, I think that's people's downfall.
Yeah.
Right? We there's always
Ego.
stuff to learn. That's it, man. It's like there's a lot of ego out there.
So fast forward in your life a little bit.
Yep.
You say, hey, I'm going to work right away.
Yep.
You come out, it was like 18 years old. What was the first job that you took?
18. I went to college, so cooking on a line. All I wanted to do was cook. Went to Providence, Johnson & Wales, and cooked all through college.
Do you know Tobias?
I don't. I know his work, but I don't know. Did he go to Johnson & Wales?
Yeah, he went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Johnson & Wales was interesting. Is he a
He is.
culinary guy?
He actually went there for marketing. Supposedly they had like a real niche marketing
Very good.
program that most people don't know about.
So and equine, which is wild. So horses, but the culinary campus, we were shunned.
Yeah.
We were on our own world. So literally a totally different campus from everyone else.
I love it up there. All
Cool.
New England.
Providence is cool, man. Newport's beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool
I love
place.
Newport.
Yeah. So I cooked. And then I did that all through college. I learned after college that it sucks.
Yeah. Did you ever try to go become a chef in a restaurant?
I did.
Or
I did it for
bar?
a little while. And you learn, you work when everyone's off.
Yeah.
Nights, weekends, holidays, and the pay isn't good. Unless you're an executive chef at a super high-end place, but you're working 70, 80 hours a week. And I just wasn't into it. So that's when I was already training, I was competing, but that's when I went to work.
You know what's funny? You're still working 70, 80 hours a week.
Yeah, but you know
it's
what,
for
man?
yourself.
That's it, dude. It's different because it's like, how hard you work, you're not lying in someone else's pocket.
Yep.
Which I wasn't okay with.
Yeah, I was never somebody who wanted to work for other people. And maybe that was an authority issue.
Sure.
Whatever it may have been, but I always had visions to have my own destiny in my hands.
I agree. And I just didn't know what I was going to do for a long time.
So what made you really, I know you started lifting when you were 13, 14-year-old. Obviously, you were working at Powerhouse.
Yeah.
At what age did you say, all right, I really want to turn this up and go into bodybuilding professionally?
Right out of college. As you know, I'm not a drinker.
Yeah.
So I didn't party in college.
Once in a while, I see a glass of wine on the date night table.
Yeah, man.
I always give you a fire emoji.
I love it. Sometimes, man, I honestly, I probably need to drink more often.
Yeah.
I
You need a little bit more
take
relaxed.
the edge off.
Yeah. The stress is going to kill us before the alcohol will.
Yeah, that's for sure. But so that's all I kind of did. I trained and I worked. And when I got home from college, the guy that owned Powerhouse was like, you should compete. And I'm like, I'm not into it. Like, I don't want to tan. I don't want to shave.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to wear
Yeah, it wasn't
bikinis,
you.
but posing trunks. I mean, I'm just not into it. He's like, you got a really good physique. He's like, you should try it. So I'm like, all right. I fell in love.
Yeah.
Did my first show. Actually, randomly, first show of Burger Buff. Had no idea he was competing.
That's where you met him?
No, we went to high school together, but this was pre-social media.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we didn't know each other was competing.
Yeah.
And that's when we became really close. Was 2007. Did our first bodybuilding show.
Yeah, I remember you in Powerhouse, and you had like a crew of people, and you'd come in, and you were something I dislike about some bodybuilders,
sure.
if I can be honest, is
Sure.
like the tough guy mentality.
Yeah.
You were always a kind person.
Yeah.
There would be some random heavy-set guy in the gym coming up,
Yeah.
and you'd be giving him a pointer.
Yeah.
It was something I rememred about you.
Thank you. That's, you know, man, that's like, I take pride in that because that's a very common thing. A lot of bodybuilders, I don't know if they got something to prove, you know. I don't got anything to prove, man. I'm, you know, half the time my nails are painted for my daughter.
Yeah.
I just don't care. Like, I am who I am, but people need help, and if someone looks at me for help, like, why would I turn that down, you know?
Yeah. We all need help at
Yeah,
some
man,
point
I
from
need
somebody
help.
else.
A lot of things, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw my post yesterday. Like, little kid was excited about a drink, man, and like, I made my day.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like things like that, you know. So,
Puts things into perspective
Dude.
for you. You know, who's a really nice guy is Flex Lewis, man.
dude, what a cool guy.
Salt of the earth, dude. Just hanging out in the backyard.
You don't know what the hell he's saying. Talk about a grinder, though, man. Like,
Yeah.
grinded until the very, very top. Had a kid, or had, you know, a couple kids, and I'm done. I'm out. At
Yeah.
the top. You know, he retired on top.
Yeah.
Unbeatable.
Yeah, he's a beast, dude.
Big dude. And he's downsized when you saw him.
Yeah, and
Which is crazy.
Yeah, and he's, you know, again, you know, the kindest guy.
Yeah. But you know what's funny is like those guys, those top level guys that like made it are very nice. Because I, you know, working for Animal, I got to meet a lot of those guys. And, you know, outside of the bodybuilding circle, they're not known. They're just a big dude. They're not like Derek Jeter or someone where they're
Yeah.
very recognizable.
A Kobe Bryant or a Tom Brady.
That's it. You know, you see Flex walking down the street like it's a big ass leprechaun.
Yeah, real big.
Yeah, but you know, that's it. They're not going to think twice. That's why I think that's why those guys, they realize that, and they're so.
It's a grind. I want to talk. We're kind of jumping around, and that's
Yep,
my
yep,
ADD.
sorry.
No, that's me. It's my ADD too. The grind of the bodybuilder. You know, I always say to you, because I know I get on these flow states of 4 weeks, 5 weeks at a time. No bourbon.
Yep.
No beers.
Yep.
And I have fat genes. It's just very, very difficult for me to lose weight. I know it's simple to the bodybuilders to say it's calories in, calories out.
But it's not.
It's hard. Everybody's got a
Of course
different
it is, dude.
makeup.
Yeah.
So to when I go down those discipline paths, I do feel good. I am super productive,
Sure.
but I get into this hyper-focused,
Sure.
stressed out mode too.
Sure.
And to see the grind that I have watched you closely do, even over the last 5-6 years,
Yeah.
it's a lot. Talk
Yeah.
about, you know, the stress that puts on your life, your work, your relationship with your daughter, your wife.
Sure. So I started competing 21. I'm 37 now. So it's been a long time. And obviously didn't always have the business. I worked for someone. So like back then, before I was married, it was easier, you know, because it is a selfish sport, you know, because once I'm super depleted and dieting, you just kind of zone out and like you either, you know, snippy or you're tired or just things, you know, you're not really in control of a lot of things when you're, I don't want to say malnourished because we're not, but we're not having a lot to eat.
You got the bare minimum to keep the motor going.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I always enjoyed it. I loved it. But as I'm getting older and it is affecting my daughter, not in a bad way, but she notices it. She's like, Daddy, can you have some ice cream? I can't. And then she, you know, she's grown up with it. So she doesn't get like, she doesn't nag me. But if she did, I'd probably fold.
Yeah.
because it's her.
Just want to have some ice cream
That's
with
it.
my kid.
That's it. Like, and that to me, man, that's way more important.
Yeah.
Being with her and, you know, my wife, it's like, it's
everything.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm not Flex Lewis. I'm not making money from this.
Yeah.
And I think,
Well,
you know,
I disagree with you on that. I think what you were
You're right.
able to do,
You're right.
and we'll get to it, is
Yep.
what catapulted you into,
Yeah.
you know, Coronato's Kitchen.
Yeah, yeah. But now I'm slowing down with competing
Yeah.
because I don't want it to affect the business. Business has gotten hectic,
Yeah.
you know, which is good, but I can't have that. Training's a hobby. I'll always train, but competing's a whole nother level.
You'll have a stroke or a heart attack,
100%.
dude, because it's just
Yeah.
we only have so much capacity in our brain. I keep trying to fixate on how do I optimize and automate?
Sure.
How do I get more bodies to replace things I don't want to do nor am I good at?
Sure.
So I can do what? Have more free time with my family.
Yeah, man, that's what it's about, right? That's like the goal isn't to work 70 hours a week and then sit home alone.
Or
It's
die
yeah,
with the money.
man, like what's with money in your pocket? What you
Yeah.
know, I wanna be able to work and give my child the best life she can have.
What do you think drove you most all these years to want to stay in that discipline and that grind?
I mean, it's going back to like I just feel like I don't have a choice. You know, it's just like the goal has always been to be a pro bodybuilder, and I've been so close for so long that it's like for me to close the chapter of the book without getting there, I think it would be doing myself a disservice. That's been turning pro isn't the drive, but I think it's like fulfilling a goal, whatever that goal is, and I kind of have always been like
It's admirable and something that's really cool to hear you say, but you understand there's a lot of really good quarterbacks in the NFL that never won the Super Bowl.
I agree.
And they had amazing careers,
Yeah,
and people
man.
look back on them
Yeah.
in a positive light.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm coming to terms with that. It took a long time, maybe, and I don't think I would be, but to be looked at as like a failure because I
Yeah.
didn't get to that level.
Yeah, that's in your own head.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, it's like I'd like to get that pro card and wash my hands of competing and
Yeah.
never do it again.
I get it. I get it. And you know how many times people showed up to that Super Bowl and they never got it.
That's it. Yeah,
so at
man.
some point it's
tough.
like, when do
know.
I
And I'm fully aware that it's coming too. It's coming. It's getting there.
Yeah, I honestly see you, and I'm like, that is exhausting.
It is.
That is.
Yeah.
You see your face suck in
Yeah.
so tight, and,
Yeah.
and honestly, I think you should win every time. Like,
Thank you.
I see the pre-pictures. Your
Yeah.
wife's taking pictures, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, he's fucking jacked. There's no
Yeah.
way he's not winning. And I
Yeah.
see it, and I'm like, damn, like,
It's crazy.
there's
Those guys
somebody
are-
bigger than him.
Yeah, man. It's another level on that national stage.
It's insane.
I can't really tell you why I've been so driven towards that goal for so long. Chip on my shoulder. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
Trust me, I
You
get
know?
that. I got the event going on, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I want to sell it out. I want
Yeah.
to sell it
Yeah,
out. I was
dude.
talking to Tomei actually the other day, and he's
Yeah.
like, dude, you're going to give yourself an anxiety disorder.
Yeah.
He's like, you're doing a million things. He goes, no one else is doing it here.
Yeah.
He goes, if you only got 50 people in the seat, I have more
Sure.
than 50 seats
Sure.
sold, thankfully.
Sure.
But he's like, if you only got 50 people in the seats, it's a win, Ryan. You
Yeah,
brought
dude.
together all these big names
That's it, man.
to help people in business ownership on
Yeah.
the East Coast.
Yeah.
That's a win.
I think your Facebook group alone's a win.
It is.
I think it's great, dude.
What have you liked about it most?
Meeting people.
Yeah.
And like connecting with people that like are around here that, and I know there's some people that aren't necessarily around here, but like that, like Grip Stitches, right? He,
Pat's the man.
yeah, man, like I hit him up. My wife refurbishes stuff like on the side sometimes, and we needed some like,
Some type of upholstery.
covers for a high top seat, stool. And I ended up not getting it down there to him on time because she wanted it for Christmas. But he's like, yeah, man, you get it here, I'll have it done. He's like, no questions asked. And I wouldn't have never met that guy without the group,
Connectivity.
Yeah, which I
want
think
to hear
is cool.
a really cool story about Pat? So Pat, 9 months ago, hits me up on a DM. I knew Pat back in high school And then a little bit thereafter, you
Yeah.
know, some guys rode motorcycles and were into the car game together. So we had people that were in the same cliques, but we never were like hanging out on a regular basis, party here and
Sure.
there. And out of nowhere, and that's why you never know who's watching you on social media, it's crazy. I put up a post referencing like, dude, your side gig will never become your full-time gig until you take the leap of faith, jump off the cliff, and go all in at it, right? And he DMs me, he goes, I'm fucking sick of listening to you. I want your coaching. I had launched the pit to begin with. He was one of the first people in. It was $50 a month.
Awesome.
And this week he left his $175,000 job to go into doing upholstery work full time, dude. I'm so proud of that, dude.
I saw him somewhere that he had been talking about it. That's like the coolest thing in the world, man. And
So
like
cool.
no one can. I did that. I didn't have that big high,
3 hours a day he was commuting, dude, not seeing his family.
I didn't have that high paying of a job, but making that jump, man, that was like, it's on me now, you know. And it was cool, man. It was like.
Growth happens real quick.
Yeah, he has to.
Talk about anxiety and stress.
Dude.
Like, all right.
Yeah, man.
Just me.
Yeah, dude.
There's something about my brain where I'm at a stagnant point. I'm uncomfortable there. And
Sure.
I have learned and been better at slowing down.
Sure.
But it's actually when my back's against the wall and the pressure comes in and that fast-moving mind can get in that hyper-focused, fast-moving... And it has to be things I enjoy.
Sure.
If it's things that pull negative from me, then it will cause me stress.
Sure. You do well under pressure.
Yeah, but there's something about jumping off that cliff as a business owner, which will allow us to segue into Coronato. Obviously, for a few years, you were working in the supplemental game, doing a good job, animal. You went and worked for Milwaukee for a time period.
Yeah.
Thank God you're still not there. Brian Kirby would be broke.
Brian have all the free tools in the world.
Maybe he would have more money, right?
Yeah,
the free tools. You said, all right, I'm meal prepping for people, and before I go fully into Coronato's, you were training other people to bodybuild, and maybe helping them with some meal prepping or giving them guidance on their food.
Yeah. So while I've always had like a side thing, I guess, or 2 jobs, 3 jobs, whatever. I never only did one thing. So when I worked at Animal, I coached people too online. So I did bodybuilding coaching. Overall health coaching. So if, you know, everyday person wanted to lose weight, I did that, but it was all online. I did some in-person training, but it was like working at a corporate gym. You got paid. They paid the gym $100 an hour. You got paid $10 an hour.
Yeah, you got nothing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I got out of that real quick, and I did pretty well with the online training. But I quickly learned that like I didn't love it. It just wasn't. It wasn't what I wanted to do. I could have definitely done that full time, but I just didn't want to.
Coaching is hard. You have to really have that passion and purpose to do it, and it has to be with the right people. After going through the training business, you're like, hey, this is not really for me. You did help a ton of people. What made you say, like, I want to go meal prep for people?
So I didn't. That wasn't right away. My wife worked at Cintas as a sales rep, making great money. And I realized that I'm working at a supplement company, which I love. You know, I traveled around the country, met a lot of really good people, which now that I look back, really grew my brand, my personal brand.
It was a season.
It was, for sure. And I'm like, I got to get into sales. Like, this is crazy. Like, I need to make more money. Like, I'm just not okay with where we're at. No one would hire me because I did marketing at Animal. No one would look at my resume except for Milwaukee. So I worked for Milwaukee Power Tools, and I worked at So I worked for, actually, it's the mother company, which is TTI, which owns like Milwaukee, Ryobi, Rigid, a bunch of brands. But then they were placed in Home Depots. So I worked at the Home Depot in Neptune. All the time, the goal was to be a sales rep, get out of Milwaukee, get to pharma sales or medical device sales or something to make money and do well. I never got there. My wife became pregnant, and I'm like, I got to make more money now.
Yeah.
And I bounced in Seaside forever. That was always a side thing. You know, I made a ton of money doing that. Hate it. I'm not a tough guy.
Yeah.
I'm not at all.
You're a lover.
Yeah, man. I just looked the part, so it worked.
I wouldn't have messed with it.
So I'm like, I'm not doing that again. I have no interest. Like I'm whatever. I'm in my 30s. I'm like, I'm not going to bounce again. Like I just randomly took a shower one day and I came out. I'm like, I'm gonna cook. I'm just gonna cook what I eat because I had always wanted to do meal prep. I just didn't know how to make it different. Jamie was blowing up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't. I couldn't do what he was doing.
He already had too much of a step on
Yeah.
you.
So I'm like, I didn't know what to do. And then I'm just like, I'm just going to do what I do. I'm going to, so that's how it started. It was literally a text in May of 17, or not texted, Facebook message, Facebook post, whatever, that was like, I'm going to cook food for people. I'm taking 10 people this week and that's it. We're going to cap it because I'm doing it at home.
Yeah. I remember you cooking at home in the pictures.
Dude. And I did 10 people, and then it just grew from there. And within like 2 months, 3 months, probably 2 months, I was out at my first commercial kitchen, rented kitchen. We outgrew that home, and it's also illegal, technically. So I was at a commercial kitchen. And
you were test piloting it.
That's
You didn't have a legit business.
Yeah. Did that for a while, and it just kept growing and growing. And the commercial kitchen I was at, it was a shared kitchen. So there was 4 or 5 companies there, only set hours I could go, where it kind of worked because the only hours available were Monday nights and Friday nights. So I used to leave the Neptune Home Depot, go to Restaurant Depot, which is literally next door, go right down to my kitchen, which was in Spring Lake. So I'd leave work Mondays and Fridays at 3 o'clock, go right there and start cooking. And it wasn't busy. It was me, in the beginning, it was me and Kristi. She was pregnant as hell. And we would just cook until we were done, and then we'd deliver the next day. It got growing and growing and growing. Eventually, she was way too pregnant to work. So I had to hire someone. And
Smoke's getting you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
a little bit. Very good. In the great state of New Jersey, I had the benefits. And you can't change hands of benefits. So meaning like we couldn't go on to her benefits unless something happened.
Yeah.
I got fired. I
A
quit.
life-changing event.
Yeah. So we're in this like weird spot because I'm getting busier. I'm starting to not go to work on Fridays because I'm backing up the time I go because I'm working straight through the night. We're like, what do we got to, like, I'm not ready to quit because, like, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
But legitimately, I'm working 13 hours through the night, sleeping for an hour, and going to deliver Saturday mornings. I did that for a long time because that's the only choice I had. So
While still bodybuilding.
Yeah, still competing. So my wife's, at this point, 7 or 8 months pregnant. She's about to be on maternity leave. And once you're on maternity leave, you can't change benefits either.
Yeah.
So I don't go to work one Friday, and I don't necessarily like this part of the story because this isn't I'm not the type of person to not go to work, to not do what like the plan was, but we're so busy that like I literally can't do it anymore. So part of the job was I'd have to send the sales tables to my boss. And this kid, he was a kid. Which always irked me. He was like a 22-year-old kid that just was on a power struggle.
Yeah. Give me your numbers.
Yeah.
Give me your Excel sheet.
So I didn't send it Friday. He calls me on Monday, and this was not planned. He calls me on Monday. He's like, hey, you didn't send me the sales tables. Like, oh, yeah, I must have forgot. He's like, oh, your pro team said you weren't there. He's like, I got caught. And I'm just like, you know what, man? I quit.
Yeah.
That was it. I had to because it was either I put my 2 weeks notice in, and he was like, did not expect that. He thought I just was like a slacker. Mm-hmm. No, man, like I'm busy.
Yeah, I have another business.
Yeah. So it was literally either my wife's going to go on maternity leave for however long that is. I would have had to keep the Milwaukee job and either give up the business or jump ship. So
can't do the side hustle and the main hustle.
No, dude. So that was it, man. I quit. I lost the benefits. She got the benefits. A month or so later, she went on maternity leave. That was it.
Yeah, that's a grind. And I think a lot of times we always think that the success of business is going to come sooner than it is,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
even for this event, like I have a ton of eyes on me now. Like I didn't have any following.
Sure.
And quickly it's 4,000 followers
Yeah.
and some of the clips are getting 800,000 views,
Yeah.
30,000 views. Dude, I was getting like 500 views,
Yeah,
dude, on
yeah.
something I'd put up. And I was like, all right, this event's going to go. No, I'm going to have to grind all the
Yeah.
way to the end. I'll have to get creative all the way to the end to make sure I fill those seats. And that's what everybody has to realize.
Yeah.
If you want it bad enough,
That's it.
you got to sacrifice. You were working 13 hours through the night, getting 1 hour of sleep before you went to your next job.
Yeah.
That's why you are where you are today.
And I'm going to be 100% honest. Like if that scenario didn't happen, I probably would have stayed at Milwaukee a lot longer,
Yeah.
just to be more comfortable, making money.
It was good that it forced you.
100%. Because I had to hit the ground running.
Now, did you start to cook more days at that time?
Yeah. So it kind of worked out. Like relatively soon after that, one of the guys left, which is a really good friend of mine, Fit Food, Jay Russo.
Yeah.
He's a great meal prep around here. Phenomenal guy. Just, I can't say enough good things about Jay. He left. He was in that same kitchen, went and got his own kitchen. So I ended up taking his hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved to Mondays and Thursdays, which is what we still do. So I cooked Mondays, delivered Tuesdays. That was always our busier day. And then cooked Thursday, delivered Thursday. And that's kind of what we've always stayed at. And we shared, so we were there. That was in Spring Lake for a few years. We were on Herbertsville for a few years. Shared a kitchen there too. And
During COVID, you guys said, let's buy this building.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Man, it was cool because like we didn't have much overhead. When you share a kitchen like that, my rent was $1,000.
Yeah.
All said and done. No utilities, no nothing.
How many meals were you banging out of that kitchen for $1,000 a month?
A lot, dude. But
Yeah.
it's grown, It was, a couple. Now that I look back, it wasn't that much. But every time we moved, we were fully maxed out. That
Yeah.
first kitchen, there was 5 companies in there. It was crazy. Could barely leave anything there.
Nothing in the freezer. You
Yeah.
had to take everything with you
That's
when
it.
you go.
It was tough. But you know what, man? Like, that's how it was a great start.
Yeah.
Because
You wouldn't have been able to start maybe if you didn't have that option.
no, because like some of these places you talk to, like you want to rent whatever a restaurant's kitchen at night, they're gonna try to charge you like an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
But if you got 5 businesses that split time through the day, you make it $5,000 right there. It works out.
When you guys went, this was like an old German
Yeah.
food store or something you were telling me.
It was Scottish.
Scottish.
So, dude, my dad was always so my dad has his own thing, but he works for himself, and it's only him. He fixes machinery, like big woodworking machinery. It's crazy good with his hands. He's actually super intelligent. So he's always thinking ahead, right? And he's like, "You're not safe where you are." He's like,
got that engineering, critical
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
brain.
yeah, without a degree. Like my dad's super smart. It's actually wild, like to talk to him, because like I don't know what you're saying, Dad. My brother's an architect, so like they do their thing, and I'm like,
yeah, I'm out on this.
yeah,
combo.
man, I'm like I'm good. But my dad's always thinking, he's like, "You're not safe where you are." My dad was super against me even doing this. He actually didn't even know. I just jumped ship and started the thing, and
Your parents are always afraid for you.
100%.
Anybody's parents.
Yeah, for sure. And healthy. My dad's had a lot of downfalls with business, and he's lost a ton of money. And we've scrounged, man. Like my mom didn't work until I was 18.
Yeah, and he remembered what that felt like, and he
and he
wanted
doesn't
you to maybe go get security.
Totally. Yeah, man, I get it. Now he's super happy, but he's like, you got to start looking for a place, your own place. You can't be renting. Who knows what's going to happen?
You have no control.
Yeah. So we started looking at places. We looked at at Fortunato's. Fortunato's was for sale for a long time.
Yep.
Didn't work. It didn't make sense because the way they were set up, it was more of it's a deli. It's a small kitchen. We looked at which is now the Cookie Lady, right by Chinzia's.
I actually recently went over there.
Dope place.
Yeah, it was
Cool place.
delicious.
Great stuff.
I haven't
dude.
been in there in like 8 years.
Yeah.
It was like 2 weeks ago we just went.
Yeah, so it was a hot dog place.
Yeah.
So we looked at that to buy. Didn't make sense either. So I'm like, we're not gonna find anything, and I can't afford to outfit my own place. So we
The smoke's getting you.
it's all good. So actually Phil Dorr We were good friends, and Kristi had posted at one point like looking for a commercial realtor, and because we had some people that helped us here and there, and it just like didn't work out. So
They weren't finding anything.
Yeah, so Phil was like, "What are you looking for?" So I told him. I said, "I'm looking for."
Getting a real estate agent, by the way, is like a touchy topic because,
Yeah.
like, you know 6 of them,
Well,
and you
that-
like all 6,
yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
shit, I want to just use somebody completely
Yeah.
outside this circle.
Yeah. So, Chris, I'm like, listen, I'm looking for something with a kitchen built out already. I'd like to. I actually wasn't even really looking to buy. If I could rent something with a kitchen built out, cool. If I could buy something, cool. A couple months go by, and he sends me this listing. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, it's on Brick Boulevard. Like, what are the odds that this is gonna work? So let's go look it out, or let's go look. I walked in. I'm like, that's it. Because that guy basically catered out of there.
Yeah.
So the whole kitchen was built out.
It's wide open. One side has the grills.
That's it. So
Yeah.
like, you know, my storefront's real small, which is what we need.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have a lot of people walking in, but we don't have a ton of people sitting to eat.
Yeah.
We do, but you know, people sit, but not, you know, a lot of police officers, people on the go.
And you guys have meals right there in the fridge.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice at times. I get annoyed at ordering anything because I
Yeah.
always mess things up, and I'm like, just gonna drive over
Yeah.
there, and it's nice. Same thing with Eat Clean, bro.
Yeah.
It's nice to just
Yep.
go in and grab a meal or 2
Yep.
or 5.
Yeah. And that's, you know, that's,
You have some other stuff there. You have some supplements. You have some
Yep.
drinks. You have some peanut butters. You
Yeah.
have a bunch of different shit.
yeah. So we ended up buying the building. It worked out. It was a scrounge to get that down payment, you know.
Of course, always.
Me and my wife maxed out every credit card.
Is it so scary to do that? But now that you look back, you're like, I am so freaking
Yeah.
happy that I did
Yeah.
that.
And you know what, man? Doing it without a loan or any financial assistance from anybody
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah.
You know,
It means more.
yeah, man. And it's like, it's ours. You know, I
Yeah.
don't got to answer to nobody. But that being said, I got to answer to everybody.
Yeah,
Because
of
my
course.
customers are,
Yeah.
you know, they're here because of,
I know
I'm
what you
here
meant.
because of them.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
But yeah, so we also sell, I try to support, you know, people I know. A lot of things we sell in the store are guys that I kind of came up with. The paw powder, the dog peanut butter.
Yeah.
My buddy, a very good friend of mine, Eric, worked at Animal together, launched his own dog peanut butter and dog supplement line. So we have that in store. Product called Rice and Grinds. It's like a cream of rice. The owner of that, I came up in bodybuilding together. So I try to, you know,
Help your friends.
yeah, man. And like I got this place now that like the food is what we do. If I can give you some shelf space to maybe make you a couple more bucks, man.
I think that's
You know?
super cool.
And then we just started, which is awesome. Every month we have a local business. There's a shelving unit, and my wife set up the entire year. Local business can come in, fill the shelves with their product. They put their Venmo there. They sell it. We don't take a dime. We don't even touch the money.
So
They set-
jewelry, clothes,
Whatever.
hats, whatever
Yeah.
it may be.
So right now it's a girl, Lorena, and her daughter. They have Babe Cave. So they do a lot of cool like printed stuff, cups, like, and that's, you know, it's their-
You're always looking to help the business owner.
yeah, because like, you know, you went through it, man. It's like
grind.
no one, not no one, but not a lot of people want to help, man. It's like
Very
it's,
few.
it's not gonna why is it gonna hurt? It's not gonna hurt me,
Yeah.
you know, to help someone else, and it's their side thing, and who knows, maybe it could launch them.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe it's something that does launch, and
Yeah.
now you're a part of it because you helped them.
Yeah, man. And it's like, I just think it's, you know, I think we need more people that just want to help, you know?
All boats rise with the tide. And if our
Yep.
country, I was on a call today with the Inner Circle, Mike Fallett, shout out to him. And I talked about that,
Yeah.
very passionately.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
dude, if this country
Yeah.
turned around and helped the neighbor,
Yeah,
turned
dude.
around and helped your family
It's
member,
crazy.
turned around and helped your fucking community,
Yeah.
whether they're left, right,
That's it.
and both sides can't get along.
That's it, man. You know, it's like politics aside, like people need help, man. It's like, and if I could do a little bit, if you could do a little bit, someone else could do a little bit, these guys could do a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, it starts adding up.
Yeah, adds
you
up
know?
quick.
Changes the community.
Compound effect.
Yeah,
you ever read that
man.
book?
No.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
He talks about like fractional changes and
Okay.
your diet, your mindset, and
Yeah.
how that compounds
Like a
over
butterfly
time.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really proud of that. We just started that. And I think it's cool, man, to see these these small businesses, like, they got a spot.
And you do stuff with your boy Burger Buff over there as well. You kind of have his thing where he slings his burgers there, and he helps you cook sometimes too, right? So
he worked. So he's had his myriad of jobs. He worked at Universal Animal for a little bit too, and he did when he was launching. He worked for me for a while, and then he got so busy that he's on his own now. 100% doing burgers, but we're home base, so everything, his health inspections, everything he's done is out of our place. So he gets all his meat delivered there. He's there almost every day. He's got his own office in the back.
He's crushing it too.
Yeah, man, the kids, the amount of like hate that kid gets, it's crazy. And he just keeps going. Why though? Because I don't know if it's a jealousy thing. Like he was just in Japan. Literally got back today from Japan for.
Someone in Japan wanted him to cook burgers?
Yeah. He met a guy in Rumson. He did a private event in Rumson. This dude's this multi-millionaire that does business half the year in Japan. Flew him out to Japan for his business event out there. Spent the week in Japan.
He did a really, really good job of creating this brand that was online in your face. And what's crazy about social media nowadays, and it happens with the podcast, like we're booked out right now till June.
Yeah.
The applications come in.
Yeah.
There's people that are bigger names or they're older people, they're not really social media people. We'll go seek out and say, well, your story's awesome, we want you on.
Sure.
But most of the stuff is people applying because now it's something that people want to do. It's an experience.
Yep.
He did an excellent job at growing his brand and then getting in those right pockets of people. Some of those higher end restaurant guys, getting this thing, it's like, oh, it's a pop-up, and then creating demand. Oh, tickets are sold out.
Yeah, Nettie's and Angelica's.
He was very strategic about that. And wise, and that's where I first saw him, was at Divi Tree. He would sit there every day. He might get hate because he's a little bit of a standoffish dude.
You know what, dude? He's very quiet.
Yes.
He's an introvert.
You're like, do you hate me, bro? I'm sitting next to you.
Even me. We don't. People are like, he doesn't talk. I'm like, he don't really talk to me. But that's not true. We do. We have a lot of really good conversations. But to see where he's been and where he's gotten to, just to be, you have just to go to Japan, fully booked, fully paid for, everything to work.
Dude, if you're not getting hate, you're not doing anything big enough yet.
Yeah, that's it, man. And he takes it in stride. And I know some things bother him. People say some pretty shitty things,
That's so weird.
It is. It's very weird. But it's like, it's maybe they want to be doing it, or they look at it, and he'll be the first one to tell you. Like, he's like, it's just a burger.
Yeah.
Like, you people are fucking crazy. It's just a burger.
So mad.
Yeah. But he loves what he does, and he does it really well.
Dude, the hate I get on the podcast, bro.
Oh, I'm sure.
Who are you to do business owners, and who are you to do this event?
Yeah. So you do it.
I do it more, and then I have fun with it, right? So recently, I didn't really need a couple billboards, but now I'm going to stick billboards in your face about my event.
I love it. That's awesome.
Like, people don't want to see other people succeed. It's the old analogy, crabs in the bucket. One's trying to get out, the rest of them pull it back in.
Which is a shame.
Which really is a shame. You should say to that person, how can I help you for free?
Yeah.
Go learn and figure out what Burger Buff did if you want to cook burgers.
And he's open. Dude, he does.
Everybody is, because they know how hard it was to do it.
Dude, he does classes at Heirloom in Old Bridge that teach people how to make his burger. Literally giving out his only product for free.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Does he have any other big sponsorships besides the rolls?
Martin's. He was sponsored by Pat LaFrida for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now he pays for it. He had some sauce sponsorships, but then he launched his own sauce.
Yeah. How's that doing?
Good. He only sells it at
Colonial?
Yep.
Yeah.
The only place it's sold. He'll throw some more on our shelf when he's got the pop-ups, but they're the exclusive. They do well.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Another friend of yours that you get to watch succeed and
it's awesome.
Work closely with.
Yeah, man. My best friend, and coming up together both in bodybuilding and then in business, it's cool.
Yeah, it's real fun.
And we lean on each other, man. It's like, to have someone like that, to know,
no matter what, they got your back.
Yeah, and he's going to tell me, how it is, And
you need friends like that.
Yeah, for sure. Because if you got yes men around you all the time, it's not...
Yeah. Not a good thing.
No, man.
Yeah, I try to look for that constructive criticism.
Sure.
There is a way that you build a fence of trust
Sure.
and people that are loyal to you.
Sure.
Because other people will have malicious intent.
Of course, man.
Because I've also had that go on, and all of a sudden I stray myself and I lose my confidence, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no, I got it right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got it fucking twisted.
Yeah.
You have some other intent.
Which is crazy, man. But that's
It's
the
life.
world, right?
Yeah.
You know.
So, talking about you inside Coronato's,
Yeah.
you're still slinging chicken. You're
Yeah.
still cooking the steak. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to get off that grill, huh?
Nah, man, I love it. I love cooking, man. That's all I wanted to do growing up. I applied to one school.
Do you ever cook anything like fattening and like really?
See, that's like the common misconception because I hate the word, but foodie.
Yeah.
I love food, man. Like I will eat whatever's coming at me. If I'm not in contest prep,
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. Like my wife and I, we eat, you know.
I seen you slamming some burgers and shit after your
man.
competitions.
Oh yeah, that's the best meal there is.
Going after it.
But yeah, man, it's like I always say like I cook, but I wouldn't say I'm a chef. I don't think I have that title because I do simple things really well. I grill, chicken and steak. And what we do is it's done well, but I don't cook super fancy things. It's just not what I ever really loved. Like I like what Nick does. Nick does a simple burger. Like that to me is cool.
Simplicity.
Yeah, man.
I think a lot of times in all things we overthink it and
Yeah.
overcomplicate it.
100%. So like, I'll eat, man. Like I'm cool with eating.
I got to ask you, like, for those of you who don't know Christian's brand and Kristi's brand, like, they customize your meal. So you
Yeah.
can go right on their Instagram, go to their link.
Yeah.
I've done this hundreds of times, and you customize your meal. I want a half a cup of jasmine
Right.
rice. I want 5, 6, 7, 8 ounces of steak.
Yep.
You get a veggie with it, a fat.
Yep.
You could fully customize it.
Yep.
That's got to be really difficult when on Thursday you got 200-300 meals going out,
Yep.
fully customized.
Yeah.
Tell us the systems you have built
Yeah.
to do that. And I've never had a mistake.
Yeah, which is great to hear. Honestly, it started with there's a company in the CrossFit community that you can go online and you can buy a template of a diet plan that's not 100% tailored to you, but like there's hundreds of them that they made. You put in your weight, your goals, like whatever, a bunch of things, and they give you the template that's closest that works for you. So people used to send that to me, and that's how when I first started, just like, hey, send me your diet, like I'll do whatever. And then it went to that. The people would send me these templates because they're kind of difficult to follow if you don't really know food. It's they don't do well with how they design it. And that started the real customization. And then it's slowly grown from there. So some days it's crazy because
if this guy right here needs 4 ounces, this
Yep.
guy needs 5, this guy needs 7, this
Yep.
guy's doing no carb, and like you need to cook all this chicken at the
Yeah.
same time. Then
So-
you're sitting over there cutting it up, weighing it out. Like,
so we cook. I say we're caterers because we cook in bulk, right? I'll cook 200 pounds of chicken at once. We'll hang up our orders. My wife and I start the orders. We do bulk too. We do by the pound. So we have a whole nother section that those guys are doing that. They handle all those orders. But me and my wife, we do the custom orders. Hang up, 10 or 12 of them. And we go one by one. We do all the proteins first. We go, literally one by one, scale everything. We do all the carbs. And then it gets passed to the next section. They do all the veggies and all the topping and the labeling.
I've been in there when you guys are
Yeah.
cooking and bagging. How many people do you have going at once in that operation?
12.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So we kind of work in sections, which is what we've learned. When I first started, I would do one meal at a time, and I would do, I don't even remember, it was just me and another girl, this girl, Ashlyn, and...
That's how you fail quick, just doing one meal at a time.
Dude. And it was either her or this guy, Tom, that worked for us. One of them was like, yo, we should probably do more than one. I'm like, yeah, probably.
Yep.
So then it kind of bumped up. And because it's been such a slow process, we've changed. And each kitchen also we've had to change. So this is my third kitchen.
The rotation shifts.
Yeah, and like how it works, and you got to work. Like I didn't build a kitchen, so it's like I can't build what's ideal. Just kind of work with what's there.
That's funny. That brings up a question for me. Do you have a desire to go and really get a fully customizable kitchen that would allow you to maximize and scale what you guys do? Because it is unique.
Yeah, we actually just talked about knocking down the building.
Yeah.
Which I don't think would happen anytime soon. It's an old building. And that's a myriad of problems as far as like how am I going to still operate. But yeah, for sure, to build something that makes more sense, a little bit of different layout.
I think that would be like your dream, man. That'd be pretty cool to do.
I don't love the open kitchen. Kind of bugs me out because
that people can see.
Yeah, I like that people could see us.
Yeah,
but I don't like that people are so concerned with they think of an open kitchen or a kitchen and it's got to be spotless. It's not realistic.
Yeah, that's never happened.
No, and I try my best to keep it as clean as possible.
I always feel fully clean when I come in.
We are a very, very clean kitchen because I know that it has to be.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I would not like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want an open kitchen.
It adds to the level of pressure that's just unnecessary.
It does. So that's one thing I would change for sure. But you know what, man? We're happy with our home.
You guys are killing it.
Yeah, man. It's been...
you guys bought a new home recently too, right?
We did.
Stayed in Toms River?
Yeah. So we've always wanted land. And land's tough to come by around here.
Yeah.
I had no interest in going to Jackson, no interest in going to Howell or anywhere out there. For a quick second, we're like, maybe we'll go down south. You can get some land down there. I'm like, nah.
Too far.
So we looked out here. We looked in Point, looked at a bunch of houses. I joined Vive, the gym over here, because I'm like, we're going to be in Point. Like, I want to walk to,
walk to the gym.
B2 and stuff, Then we realized, like, it's like what we want isn't going to be in Point either. Just kind of stopped looking. And then a house, like, 3 blocks away popped up. I'm like, let's go look. It had almost an acre of property in Toms River. Yeah. And we're just like...
It's kind of unheard of.
Yeah. We fell in love, man. It's a 1940s old Cape.
Yeah,
dude.
I love the Capes.
Yeah, dude. What a beautiful... It's got the original hardwood, original, like, heavy doors.
Yeah, they have the charm and
the
character.
crystal knobs.
Yep.
Dude, super cool. Yeah. So we moved, like, October.
Good for you guys.
Thank you.
You seem really happy over there.
Yeah, man. It's, it's good.
Well, dude, I like to round this down and ask a couple questions.
Yep.
I ask it to everybody.
Yep.
So the first question I always ask is, if you were talking to any young Christian or Ryan or Evan that was coming up in any type of business, not food in particular, what's the one thing that you would tell them to keep constant in their brain?
Yeah. I think, I started in my business at the right time, but I had always waited for, like,
someone else to make you to do it, or
yeah, dude. Like, I'm gonna get this great job. I'm gonna, because I'm a great worker, or whatever. It never comes. And then what I also realized, which we touched on earlier, was that your parents always want the best for you, right? But I learned that every idea I had coming up, unfortunately, my dad kind of shot down. And I respect my dad and his opinions.
An engineer's brain is trained to find the problem, not the solution.
Yeah, that's a great quote. I realized to stop telling my dad what I'm going to do. And that the second I realized that,
it's a weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, man. I launched the business, and man, my dad was not happy for a long time.
Well, think about it. Our parents who, my dad was driving a truck. My mom was an activities director in a nursing home. Like, they knew to go to work and grind, and that's what provided a roof over your head. Now, whether it was a great roof over your head or not, it was a roof over your head, and you were fed.
Yep.
If you fast forward 20 years, they didn't even think social media was going to be something that existed. So how can your parents who are 55 tell you that you shouldn't be doing something on social media? They have no connectivity there. They don't understand. Their fingers not on the pulse.
No, and I don't blame my dad.
No, of course.
He truly wanted what's best for me, and now he sees, like, I see what you had said for so long, like what your vision is. So that's my one thing, man. Like, not everyone's gonna get it. Yeah. So I know a lot of people, like, you speak it into existence. For me, I kept speaking it out of existence because I was telling my dad what, my plans. So if that's happening, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, or make sure you're sharing it with, again, the right trusted group of people.
Yeah, for sure. My wife was like all in, man.
Yeah.
She not even like.
She's definitely your biggest cheerleader. We got to give her. We got to give her an applause.
Yeah, man.
I see her traveling to those events with you, and
she's a real one.
She's like putting something on Instagram, and you're in the back on this mini treadmill. It's like whatever time at night.
Yeah, dude. She's held me down for a long time, and we've had our ups and downs, and she's always stood by me.
Every good king needs a really good queen.
Yeah, and she's I get choked up, but she's
That's good.
She's.
I think there needs to be more of an emphasis, and I've been trying to talk about this more of an emphasis back in this country, and our generation should lead it, of like really good marriages of husband and wife and business ownership and like leading for the next generation. Relationships are really, really difficult, especially when you own a business, and especially when you throw kids in the mix.
Yeah, and work together.
And work together.
Yeah, we've pretty much worked together our whole relationship. We worked at a supplement store together.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. And it's been good, man. It's like I said, you never question if
you got real loyalty there and real trust.
Yeah, man.
We had to give her some additional love. Second question.
Yep.
You could rattle off 2 or 3.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm sure you can name 100, but I want to give some love to some other local business owners. Maybe some ones that haven't been mentioned or haven't been on before.
Sure.
That you're friends with, or you love shopping there, or you love going to eat there.
Yep. Obviously, May and Joe over at Divvy, great people. We serve their coffee. We're the exclusive
cold brew.
Yeah, the exclusive other people with cold brew. Big one for me is our beverage distribution, Seaview Beverage. This guy Billy Bachamovich. If you guys ever went to Seaside or anywhere locally, DJ Billy the Kid. You know that name?
No.
So the story with Billy is it actually started with his father. 89, he started the company, Snapple Distribution. And I knew Billy, he was a Silverton kid too. I was really close with his brother. Me and his brother went to high school together. Billy's a couple years older. His dad was a grinder. There's a story where his Snapple truck got robbed. He started this distribution, right? And the Snapple truck got robbed. Snapple's like, sorry, you got to pay for it. Steamrolled. They cut the lights off at his house. Cut the electric off. This dude's like, got nothing, right? kept grinding. Finally, he has this massive company. He's done really, really well for himself. And Billy takes it over. And I'd always remember that story as, coming up. And I'm like, when I have my own place, I want him to provide the drinks. Because, I know his dad's story. I know what they came from. And I grew up with them.
Yeah.
So Billy over at Seaview Beverage, I think it's really cool that, so that's where we get all these good drinks from him. It's cool to partner with someone like that.
Yeah.
It's very different. And I think Billy gets it. But I try to tell the story to people, and they don't really understand why that is such a meaningful connection to me. Mm-hmm. We grew up a couple blocks away from each other.
Yeah,
and
same life coming up.
Yeah, dude. And
you watched his dad go through that. You knew what it was about.
Yeah, and Billy's a really good dude. Family's a good dude.
Tell him to apply to get on the podcast, dude. We'll give him some love.
Yeah, he's a local guy. He actually, I think he lives up in Tinton Falls now or something, but he's local.
Yeah, that's close.
But
got another 1 or 2 you want to rattle off?
Man, we did just rescue a dog.
There you go.
So Jules with Percy's Paws, she does a phenomenal rescue mission. That's
awesome.
That's no joke, man.
Yeah, that's
so we
serious.
have a donation bin for her that's going to be at the store all the time, and then she also does she trains dogs. So she does both, which is corrected canines. So it's cool. So she's a grinder too, man. It's she's good at what she does.
Everything about you is local connections with you and Kristi.
Man, I take pride in that, man. It's these big companies don't give a shit about.
They don't give a shit. That is a big mission I have.
Yeah.
Is if we want to pull back power, we need to pull back wealth. So if more people become business owners, again, during COVID, call it a conspiracy, call it not.
Yeah.
Costco was open.
which is
The
crazy.
restaurant was closed.
Which is crazy,
Right.
man. And that's another thing. COVID was, that is what it is. But it's,
very difficult thing.
yeah, man. So like, you see these people failing at that time, and it's like, so anything I could do to help, man. It's like, it's all I want to do.
Yeah.
It's funny actually. Coming up, my brother would ask me because I was never happy with what I was doing. He's like, "What do you want? What do you want to do with your life? Don't think about money. What do you want to do?" I just want to help people. I don't know how. I don't know what that means, and I guess that's what I'm doing now.
Same.
You know?
You know what's so funny too is like people think that that's like a cop out in a marketing tool.
Yeah.
You know how many times people tell me like, "Oh, you're helping people with the pit, or you're helping people with the podcast." Like, I don't do it. A lot of people do this. I don't do it. The DMs. If you browse through it, the comments I get like, dude, I've left my job because of you. You have no idea how much your podcast means to me. Like, dude, that's what keeps me going, bro.
Man, those little things, dude, that
fills the tank.
Man, does it. I'm telling you, this video from this kid yesterday about a drink.
I could tell it had you choked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to get choked up again, but it's just like, it's crazy. I would never think that, man. Like, it's just
things that other people take for granted. Is some total treasure to another person who's never had.
It's it.
The ability to get it.
That keeps you going, like you said. It fulfills. Anything that there's a lot of shit in the world, man. And you see the news and you see have things on social media. It's like people complaining or whatever, and it's like. It brings you down sometimes.
Yeah, you have to figure out a way to sift through the noise and put it in the back of your mind. I'm a guy who likes to be prepared, not paranoid. 100%. So I like to know what's going on out there.
I get it.
I'm a protector of people, kind of like a sheepdog.
I agree. I can wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad guys out there, and I could roll with them, and I'm 10 steps ahead of them, and that's going to protect me and to protect the people around me.
Yep.
Well, dude, this has been awesome.
Thank you.
We could have dove even way deeper and geeked out on food and the quality of food and shitty oils they're putting in food. But I think it was a great chat. Yeah, we're going to have you back next year. Thank you again, brother.
Man, thank you. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Cheers.
For sure.